company with Aaron Turner, and we're attempting to convey the importance of these principles to the business world. I think businesses are hungry. There's a real obvious kind of missing piece. I think people have this sense that there's something missing. Like there's, when I hear business leaders, there's sort of apathy or an acceptance of a lot of inefficiency. So people have just kind of come to terms with the fact that, everybody's overworked, everybody's stressed out, everybody's sort of running around like a chicken with their head cut off. There's a lot of defensiveness. If you look particularly right now with the economy, people are really kind of become very guarded very quickly in business. So I think everybody knows something needs to give, something needs to change, but they're not sure what. And I feel like coming in, and we feel like we're giving companies a brand new operating platform. These principles offer a new human technology. And there's certain leaders out there that really respect that there is a new human technology just waiting to be discovered. Everybody's kind of got their eye out for it. And I feel like these principles offer that. It's funny because I don't really think of them as 3 principles anymore. I think I used to because it was helpful to have a form to put around it. So it's very easy to explain to people, well, there are these 3 principles, they're A, B, and C. I can draw a nice diagram of that. But I don't know. To me, it's just one metaphor for explaining the infinite that's going on behind the scenes. So there's something much larger than us it's determining, it's creating our experience of life. And these principles are a metaphor for explaining something that big. It's like, it's really that big. And that's where the feeling comes in, because if you just say, well, there's mind, there's consciousness, there's thought, that just seems like 3 little things that doesn't have that much power. But they're a metaphor to point to the energy behind life. And if people start to understand the energy behind life, they start to realize how things work. In my opinion, it's like this is the massive cheat sheet for how life works. You kind of understand what's going on behind the scenes, and then everything looks different. It's like, I'm trying to think, like, if you don't know how a car works, it's hard to fix it, I think a lot of us have gotten used to going through life not really knowing how things work and just taking it for granted, and we do the best we can, but then when things break down, we're kind of up a creek without a paddle, so to speak. So these principles offer people the paddles for life. You really start to understand how it's working, where it comes from. And then when things start to get a little rough or break down, you sort of know how to adjust for it. Thing about illuminating these principles is that people begin to see that there's nothing they have to do. It's just about understanding more and more. And if you look at people, teaching them to do something is much harder than showing them how it works and letting them figure out what to do. So you have things in your life that you do that work for you, Rudy. They might not work for me, Mara. But the things that I come to on my own, that I figure out how to do, work for me because I came up with them out of my own wisdom and in real time in my life. They're applicable to me as a human being in that moment. It's the quintessential teaching people to fish instead of giving them a fish. And I think there's a lot of fish giving out there in corporations. Do these 12 things and you'll be better at this, Adopt this style. We've learned that these kinds of leaders do better. And it's not only is it less effective because it has an extremely short shelf life. I can't tell you to adopt a new style. It's like telling someone to walk differently. I don't really know how I walk. I just walk. I can't walk differently. But this is more much more leveraged, because it shows people how things work, and then they look to get their own insights about how to do things differently. And I find that that is much more powerful than giving people a bunch of artificial tools that you came up with, that might work for you.